Right, Cassie, thank you. And as Cassie said, there is a chance we could see some winter weather in parts of East Tennessee, and crews in Knoxville say they are ready for whatever the weather brings. Now, here to talk about all of this is Mark Nagi, the Regional Communications Officer for Tennessee Department of Transportation. Thank you so much for joining us.
Of course.
So for folks heading out, what can they expect, and how many crews, I guess, have y'all gotten out there to pre-treat the roads?
So we were pre-treating all day yesterday, and now those crews are getting some much needed rest, and then they're going to report back for work tonight, no later than 8 p.m. So if and when we get the winter weather, our crews will be ready to go. We have over 200 of our salt trucks that are in working order and can get on the roadways as needed. Of course, the big thing that we're looking at is as the temperatures drop, is the possibility of freezing is going to be there. We have to look at those bridges, those on-ramps, off-ramps, and those overpasses as well.
And when does TDOT decide to begin to pre-treat the roads? At what point?
Well, we have to take a look and see if we're going to get a lot of rain before a winter weather event. So if you're getting an inch or two of rain beforehand, then we're not going to do very much pre-treating because all those supplies would basically just wash off the roadway. In this case, it looks like we're getting a very minimal amount of rain first, so that's why we're able to pre-treat. And having that brine on the roadway is certainly going to be beneficial as we try to keep those patches of snow from forming.
And obviously pre-treating very important, but are there crews on standby for when this wintry weather moves in that will go out and continue to treat the roads?
Well, we continue to monitor weather forecasts throughout every single winter weather event. You know, we're watching meteorologists just like everybody else, National Weather Service, and it looks like it's those higher elevations, maybe those areas around Gatlinburg, you know, Unicoi County, Carter County, places like that, Johnson County, that may get a little bit more than we're going to see here, certainly in the valley. So if we have to move personnel around, we will do so. But during any winter weather event, our crews are on the job and they stay as long as they're necessary.
And you might have already kind of answered this question, but what roads would you say are TDOT's top priority?
So interstates are always the top priority because those are the most heavily traveled roads. It doesn't look like we're going to get very much here in the valley, but we've got to pay extra attention to those because think about it, through downtown Knoxville alone, you get over 200,000 vehicles per day that use these roadways, and we've got to make sure that emergency personnel can get where they need to go. But we're pre-treating all of our interstates and state routes. That's over 9,000 lane miles in our 24 counties of East Tennessee alone.
As far as overpasses and bridges, you know, those can get, you know, more slick than just a regular road. Are those pre-treated any differently?
No, I mean, we just will go over them time and time again. So the bridges, the overpasses, the on and off ramps, areas that can get especially slick, you'll see our crews sometimes going over them multiple times during a pre-treating event. And then if you do get snowfall, you'll see our plows going over trying to push that snow and slush off the roadways as well.
As far as the, I guess, formulation of the brine you use, I mean, does that vary if it's going to be slushy outside, icy or snowy, or is it kind of all the same for any weather?
Well, one thing to keep in mind is that as the temperatures drop, that does limit the effectiveness of our supply. So if you're getting below 20 degrees, and especially into the teens and the single digits, there's only so much that our pre-treatment activities can do. So that's why we always tell folks, stay off the roads during any winter weather event. That's the safest place that you can be. And also gives our crews the extra room they need to do their jobs efficiently, most importantly, to do their job safely.
All right. Thanks, Mark.
Sure.